got a very special presentation lined up for you in the next 60 minutes, and I'm presenting this not because I think it, but because I know it, and I've seen the dramatic results. And this is a major revolution against the globalist. Getting the fluoride out of the water is, well, I'm going to talk more about it later in the hour. Getting the GMO out of our lives that they're trying to assault us with. But the trace elements, minerals, and vitamins, when you get it all together, it helps battle all the other stuff. But they want you sick, the medical system, Big Pharma, they don't want you to know. They knew in the 20s sodium fluoride brain damaged you. They know MSG is toxic and causes neurological disorders. And they know that most of these illnesses are mineral and vitamin deficiencies. Well, joining us is pharmacist, compounding pharmacist of more than 20 years, Ben Fuchs. He's a syndicated radio host here on the GCN network, GCNlive.com. And he joins us. He's part of InfoWarsTeam.com as well, and one of our advisors. We've got medical doctors, veterinarians, naturopaths, all advising us at InfoWarsTeam.com. You can see those videos posted there in Aaron's testimonial. But that's not why this is here today. That's not why we're covering this. We are going to engage in the public service of going through everything, of going through all the vitamins, all the minerals, and then trace elements, just bam, 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 quickly, and then we can go back through other issues that the system doesn't want you to know. I had a family member who I noticed was only drinking Coca-Colas about 5 years ago. They were old. They were pretty much going to die, and I just begged him. I said, if you will just start drinking water, your body, you're dehydrated because Coca-Cola and things and iced tea, you name it, is what is it called? A diuretic. It makes you urinate more. You drink 20 ounces, you urinate 25 ounces. I said, you look like beef jerky, you got to drink water. And they got mad at me and stuff, but started drinking water and looked like a new person. Again, it's like simple. Your teeth will fall out and old wounds will open up and your hair will fall out if you don't get vitamin C. And we got these food deserts out there, not just in poor areas, everywhere. Pharmacist Ben Fuchs joins us after this break. He is waiting in the wings right now. In fact, Pharmacist Ben, we got 2 minutes till we got a break. Tell us what's coming up today. You've lined up an incredible presentation.
Well, I got lots of stuff to talk about. Thank you for the intro, Alex. Thank you for the kind words. There's a lot of stuff in the news. I like the Consumer Reports article that came out a couple of weeks ago. 10 surprising dangers of vitamins and supplements. I'd love to be able to address that. There was a study that came out, I think it was last week, in the Journal of Nature Medicine. Chemotherapy can actually cause cancer. I thought that was pretty fascinating. Let's see. Statin drugs linked with development of cataracts. What else do you want to talk about here, Alex? There's the sugary drink ban in New York, and the digital pill they want you to swallow that will give doctors the real-time scoop on what's happening inside your body. That could be kind of interesting. How about dentists wanting us to drink more fluoride? They don't like bottled water because people aren't getting enough fluoride. We can talk about that too. Lots of stuff here we can talk about. Diabetes drugs raise the risk of bladder cancer. Statin drugs raise the risk of diabetes. There's tons of good stuff.
I want to go over all those studies, but I heard your show a few days ago. Maybe it was just a couple days ago. And you were going over just this mineral, when you have this deficiency, does this vitamin deficiency does that, this pancreatic problem caused by this, and the system knows that. So, we talked a few days ago, and you sent a whole big rundown of documents and articles and studies, and so I want to go over just at first the different vitamins, and then what those deficiencies do, different minerals, what is needed, what the really cool cofactors are, trace elements, things like that, with pharmacist Ben Fuchs, and then we'll get into all those news items that you just mentioned straight ahead. I'm Alex Jones with pharmacist Ben Fuchs. InfoWarsTeam.com's got our latest videos up there right now. Alex Jones here with a message to fellow freedom lovers. The prognosis for the entire planetary economic system runs from bad to worse. The globalist model is to shut down societies and starve patriots out until they acquiesce to the global takeover. That's why we've assembled the most vital and important preparedness items at InfoWarsShop.com. These are items that I did research on, that I personally use. We've got the Life Straw, so you can turn fetid water into safe water anywhere you go. The K-Tor hand crank generator to charge up key equipment during power outages or out in the field. Strategic Relocation, 3rd edition by Joel Skousen. When Disaster Strikes by Matthew Stein. ThyroSafe, used by Homeland Security to protect yourself during any radiological event. Hand-cranked shortwave AM/FM radios. Everything that we've researched and found to be the best is available at InfoWarsShop.com, and your purchase makes our InfoWar possible. We're getting prepared. Are you? InfoWarsShop.com. Compounding pharmacist Ben Fuchs will be with us for the rest of the hour, syndicated radio host and an advisor to InfoWarsTeam.com. And we're going to get later into the fact they want to put statin drugs in the water. They want to put more fluoride in food for kids, even though the government admits it's killing them. They're saying don't eat yolk in eggs. It's more dangerous than smoking. Now they want to tax that. Just all of this incredible nanny state. Meanwhile, big pharma, big medical knows that most illnesses in their own documents, and we have them right here, we're going to go over them today, that their own documents show that they know that most diseases are vitamin, mineral, trace element, and cofactor deficiencies. They know why pancreatic cancer is way up. They know why type 2 diabetes is way up. They know why cancer is way up. They knew the 20 sodium fluoride and other forms of fluoride put in the water causes 7-fold increase in bone cancer alone and reduced IQ. Harvard came out last week in a decades-plus long study and said, combining a whole bunch of other studies, and said, yeah, this is happening. They know it all. They know. The average doctor does it. They just follow what they're told. But this is a real revolution against tyranny. Just like the British, and I've told this story many times, 300-plus years ago, their Academy of Sciences, their Royal Academy, discovered whatever was in green vegetables and fruits, vitamin C later discovered, but they knew if you had that, your old wounds didn't open up, you stayed healthy, your teeth didn't fall out with scurvy. So all the other navies, the French, the Spanish, they made fun of them and called them limeys. And they made fun of Germans because they ate kraut. Oh, you eat kraut. Oh, you eat limes. Limeys. Brits are called limeys, but their navy was able to take over because of vitamin C. The system knows this, so they want you to have adulterated food with all these toxic additives, hundreds of things you eat at different fast foods places, hundreds of fried confections have on record silicone in them. They can call it an additive and have you eat it. So here is pharmacist Ben Fuchs to run through vitamins, minerals, trace elements, and key cofactors that when you don't have them, they know is causing these debilitating disorders and diseases. Pharmacist Ben Fuchs, great to have you here today.
Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it.
You've got the floor. Start breaking it down.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's interesting that you brought up vitamin C first, because truly vitamin C is the king of vitamin. It's so fundamental to health. It's pretty much impossible to think of a disease state or a breakdown state that vitamin C doesn't improve. The first thing that comes to mind with vitamin C deficiency is what you said, scurvy. But what's really important to understand about scurvy is the fact that you can have subclinical scurvy. By the time scurvy hits, you're in big trouble. But scurvy doesn't all of a sudden happen. Scurvy builds up. Scurvy is basically a disease where the body destroys itself. The body's main connective tissue protein is called collagen. Without vitamin C, you cannot make collagen, period. Collagen is not only the most fundamental structural protein in the body, it's the most fundamental protein in the body. Without collagen, without vitamin C, you can't make collagen. That means, number one, your blood vessels will not be strong. Ultimately, your blood vessels will break down. I think it's ironic how people are so focused on cholesterol and they're not focused on vitamin C, considering one of the ways the body patches up weak blood vessels is by depositing cholesterol plaques in those blood vessels. Dr. Matthias Rath has written extensively about this in a really neat book called Why Animals Don't Get Heart Attacks. And he talks about how animals make their own vitamin C, and animals don't get heart attacks because they make their own vitamin C and their blood vessels are strong and whole. How much of, one has to wonder when you see the link between vitamin C and the strength of blood vessels, how much of heart disease is simply a vitamin C deficiency disease. Not only that, but vitamin C is key, a fundamental player in the immune system. So if you're dealing with frequent colds, if you're getting cold sores.
Well, hold on. Hold your horses there, pharmacist Ben Fuchs, because, or hold your rats, because the British manuals going back up to 300 years ago said if you can't find fresh green vegetables or fruits, eat rats, they had discovered that whatever was in the fruit was in the intestines of ship rats, and that they would then gobble the guts of rats raw. So again, what you just said, most mammals produce it. Why don't we produce our own vitamin C?
Nobody really knows why, but they think it has something to do with the fact that we were eating fruits and vegetables. It turns out that certain gorillas, certain forms of gorillas, human beings, and guinea pigs of all critters are the only animals that don't make vitamin C. Squirrels make vitamin C, horses make vitamin C, goats make vitamin C, and what's really fascinating, Alex, is when an animal is under stress, it makes more vitamin C. Your body's key stress gland, key stress handling structure, the adrenal glands, are very high in vitamin C, and when we're under stress of any kind, whether that's emotional stress, psychological stress, and certainly physical stress, you need more vitamin C. And this gets us to the whole topic of recommended daily allowances, the RDAs, which I call the ridiculous deficiency allowance. The RDA of vitamin C, the ridiculous deficiency allowance of vitamin C, according to the government, is 60 milligrams of vitamin C. A billy goat will make 100 times that much vitamin C when it's under stress, and it makes much more than the recommended daily allowance of vitamin C, even on a daily basis. So this whole idea of vitamins being used simply to treat deficiency diseases is what gives rise to the recommended daily allowance that allows people to think, well, I'll just take this multiple vitamin with the RDAs and I'll be fine. Or I better not take more than the RDAs or I'll be in big trouble. Nothing speaks to this fallacy more than the idea that you only need 55 or 60 milligrams of vitamin C. So your point's well taken. Animals are making their own vitamin C. We're not. That means you gotta be supplementing. It's going to be very difficult to get your vitamin C out of food. And in fact, Alice, it's very difficult to get all of the vitamins you need from food anyway. For example, with vitamin E, the recommended daily allowance of vitamin E is 14 international units. Every study that's ever been done on the protective benefits of vitamin E show that you need 400 international units of vitamin E, and even the most vitamin E dense foods are only going to give you about 40 international units. So with vitamin E, with vitamin C, with the B complex, you're not going to be able to get what you need from food, even under the best of circumstances. And this is why it's so important to supplement if you're healthy, and if you're sick, it is unspeakably important to get yourself on a good nutritional supplement program. So vitamin C for the connective tissue in the body. By the way, bones, a lot of people are under the impression that all you need to do is take calcium for your bones. Well, as it turns out, your bones too are made of collagen, and vitamin C is way more important for the integrity of your bones via this collagen connection than calcium is. In fact, many people call osteoporosis, the disease of bone breakdown, of weak bones, scurvy of the bones. If you have bleeding gums, if you have nosebleeds, if you have chronic bruising, if you have any kind of heart disease issues, not to mention osteoporosis and high blood pressure and joint issues and arthritis, you want to make sure that you're getting enough vitamin C. For people who are interested in skin health, vitamin C can be amazingly helpful for protecting your skin from the sun. In fact, as it turns out, using nutritional supplements is way more important for protecting your skin from the sun than any toxic sunscreen you could ever put on. And vitamin C is the king of sun protection vitamins. For folks who are out there in the sun, get some vitamin C in your body. You can even use vitamin C topically as a cream, and it's got wonderful benefits that way too.
Oh no, I've been using this vitamin C facial cream my wife's got. It's awesome, and I've really seen it make my skin a lot healthier. And obviously, Beyond Tangy Tangerine or Pollen Burst Plus, things like that available at InfoWarsTeam.com. That would obviously be some of the best sources of vitamin C.
Heck yes, you're getting 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C per 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. You know, here's the thing about the BTT, which you mentioned, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine and the Pollen Burst. They're liquid, and the rate-limiting step in how much value you're going to get out of nutritional supplementation. If you understand how important nutritional supplementation is, and you don't have to do much reading to understand how important it is, then it becomes vital to recognize it's not so much what you're taking in, but it's what you're absorbing. And if you're one of the 80 million or more Americans who are dealing with digestive issues, bile issues, gallbladder issues, gastritis, pancreatitis, you can take supplements, but you may not be getting the value of them.
And you need those really big dosages, from what I've read and studied from yourself and others, to really have the full effect. But you'd have to drink 2 or 3 containers of orange juice to get the same vitamin C in a Beyond Tangy Tangerine scoop. and then you'd be getting all of that bad overload of fructose that attacks the liver and everything else.
Not to mention the pesticides as well. So, no, orange juice has got a very small amount of vitamin C. You get about 30 or 40 milligrams of vitamin C in a glass of orange juice. And then, of course, you're exposing yourself to all that sugar and all those pesticides. One of the neat things about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine is the liquid format. And so if you're dealing with digestive distress, but you understand you want to get on a nutritional supplement program, you understand how important it is, please take a shot at liquid nutrition. Please take a shot at products like the Beyond Tangy Tangerine that will
exactly, but expanding on that, it's got all the other vitamins, minerals, trace elements, cofactors together to supercharge it. And I want to talk about how things work together when we come back. But separately, folks, green leafy vegetables, berries, there's a lot of great ways to get vitamin C as well. It's just the products at InfoWarsTeam.com. They're discounted, or what I'm using and what Aaron Dykes lost 92 pounds with, even though it's not advertised as a weight loss product. The food is so devoid of nutrients now because of the played out soils. You're eating and eating and eating empty calories, trying to simply get the vitamins and minerals you need. And so that's why when you finally get the vitamins and minerals you need, you don't have those cravings as bad anymore, and you can lose the weight. But see, we've only covered one vitamin, vitamin C, the King Daddy that I started with, that you started with. We didn't plan to do that. That was just, we're on the same page. Pharmacist Ben Fuchs, one of the top compounding pharmacists out there in the country, syndicated talk show host. When we come back, let's race through the other vitamins, then the minerals, then trace elements and key cofactors, because I want to know this. I was listening to your show a few days ago and just riveted, and I said, get me Ben Fuchs. And we talked off air. We got this whole file together. We just spent 20 minutes on one vitamin. Get your notepads ready. So when old folks go in with Alzheimer's and big rot holes in their arms where their skin is falling apart and their teeth have all fallen out, the doctors don't say, hey, you have scurvy. They just send them home to rot and die. Because Big Pharma doesn't make money if they say, hey, go eat some blueberries. Or go take naturally derived, say, rose hemp vitamin C or something. Don't, it doesn't matter. Linus Pauling won 2 Nobel Prizes, one of them for discovering how powerful that, the vitamin C is magic. This is a short 6-minute segment, long segment coming up. Okay, pharmacist Ben Fuchs. We're going to post this video of this interview at InfoWarsTeam.com. If anybody's listening on the radio and wants to see the video of it and some of the documents we're going to be going over, it'll be posted by tomorrow at InfoWarsTeam.com. Continue. Let's race through the other vitamins right now and what they're directly linked to if you don't have them.
Vitamin E, brain health, dry skin. These are deficiencies in vitamin E. Vitamin E deficiencies are associated with problems with thinking, with brain problems, with dementias, with macular degeneration, with eye disease, with impotence, with infertility. By the way, there's an infertility epidemic in this country. Vitamin E is known as the fertility vitamin. The technical name for vitamin E is tocopherol, which means to bear children. Deficiencies in vitamin E are associated with prostate disease, another epidemic. Deficiencies in vitamin E can cause skin problems like hyperpigmentation, dark spots, another seeming epidemic. Then there's the B complex, which is a series of vitamins that are found in nature. The B complex are the energy vitamins. If you're feeling sluggish, if you're feeling lethargic, if you have brain fog, all of these are associated with B complex deficiencies. The more sugar you eat, the more deficient you're going to be in key B vitamins. There's a B vitamin that is so fundamental for brain health that Dr. Abram Hoffer wrote a book called Orthomolecular Psychiatry, talking about treating schizophrenia successfully.
That's B12.
That's B3.
B3, I'm sorry.
But B12 is unspeakably important. If you have any digestive issues, you're going to be deficient in B12. B12 is critical for the nervous system and for the blood system, and many people are deficient in B12 and don't notice it. If you have any gastritis or low stomach acid issues, you're going to have problems absorbing B12. Vitamin B3, by the way, is wonderful for treating social anxiety disorder or jitteriness or just generalized anxiety. Deficiencies in vitamin B3 are associated with brain fog, learning disabilities, cholesterol. It's a more powerful cholesterol-lowering drug than any statin drug, simply vitamin B3 niacin. And you can read all about that all over. It's all over the internet, about niacin for lowering cholesterol, if you so desire to lower cholesterol. Vitamin D. Everybody's heard about vitamin D these days. Vitamin D is an immune-boosting vitamin. Deficiencies are associated with diabetes, with poor sugar control, with high blood pressure, with multiple sclerosis, with cardiovascular disease. This is like a who's who of all the diseases that we're dealing with, and they're all all associated with nutritional deficiencies. Vitamin K deficiencies associated with bruising. And
by the way, you're not just saying this right now. This is admitted, and the people they put on Coumadin, they tell them not to eat green vegetables, which has the vitamin K, and then the rot holes are all in their skin's falling off. They're literally being murdered. This is not your opinion. They've known this for hundreds of years. Please continue.
So vitamin K, it's absolutely correct, by the way. When they put you on Coumadin, they tell you not to eat any vitamin K containing foods, including broccoli and cauliflower and anything that's got vitamin K in it. Same with vitamin E, by the way. After surgery, and even before surgery, vitamin E is such an effective blood thinner that they'll tell you not to take vitamin E. Why don't they give you vitamin E instead of the Coumadin? That's a whole nother, instead of the medications, that's a whole nother question. Anyway, vitamin A deficiencies associated with acne. I deal with acne all the time, and if you want to induce acne in a patient or in a laboratory animal, you got to do nothing more than remove the vitamin A out of the diet. Vitamin A deficiencies are associated with zinc deficiencies, which is extremely common. Vitamin A deficiencies can be linked to psoriasis, to eczema, to dry skin, to dry lips, to cardiovascular disease, depressions in the immune system, digestive distress, leaky gut syndrome, osteoporosis. Deficiencies in zinc, my favorite mineral, associated with acne, eczema, poor wound repair. Zinc is absolutely vital for growing protein for children.
I know multiple women who are pretty young who have the epidemic of their hair falling out because they're on diets, all this stuff, that their hair came back when they were on Beyond Tangy Tangerine for 6 months. I mean, the hair came back. I watched it.
That's not surprising to me. You're getting a healthy dose of nutrients, and you're getting them in liquid format, easy to absorb fashion. That's a neat thing, by the way, about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine and liquid nutrition is you notice results quickly. This isn't like a 30-day kind of thing. You notice results in days, sometimes in doses, sometimes in 1 or 2 doses. And the great thing about the human body in deficiency states is the more deficient you are, the faster your body responds. The more weight you need to lose, the faster you'll lose the weight. The more nutritionally deficient you are, the faster your body will absorb the nutrients. That means the sicker you are.
people that are really skinny gain weight on it. Your body knows what to do with these tools. We'll be back with the rest of vitamins, minerals, trace elements. Alex Jones here with a message that could revolutionize health in this country. Going back about 1.5 years ago, I began to learn from friends like Ted Anderson about the incredible health effects of Youngevity products. And I started promoting him some because I'd seen his weight loss, his health, all the things that had happened for him. Now, I've only stuck my toe in the water and lost a little over 40 pounds, and I'm still big. Aaron Dykes, who you know has been working here for 6 years at Infowars.com, lost 92 pounds. We're going to show you some before and afters. He began to hear the guest on my show 1.5 years ago. He began to do his own research, and he implemented the information that Youngevity and InfoWarsTeam.com is promoting and had dramatic results. And that's why I'm telling our listeners and viewers, you need to go to InfoWarsTeam.com and try just the essential fatty acids, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, and the Pollen Burst Plus. And I believe you'll be blown away by the dramatic results that I've had and Aaron's had. Aaron, break down what happened, your story.
I've been overweight in my life for far too long. Years ago, I lost a lot of weight, more than 50 pounds, but it came right back. I wasn't able to keep it off. More recently, I've worked really hard with diet and exercise to try to lose weight, but I just didn't get the results. It just didn't happen, and I wasn't able to stay motivated long enough to reach my goals. Then I saw what you were doing with InfoWarsTeam.com and the great products, Tangy Tangerine, kind of the base one to start with. I wasn't even trying to lose weight, but I got it because I wanted to feel better energy. I wanted that nutrition, didn't even understand how that could kickstart my own weight loss goals, but the products did that for me. I found myself suddenly losing weight, more energetic, wanting to exercise, wanting to eat the right foods.
And they don't even advertise it as weight loss.
They don't, but it became
but pharmacist Ben Fuchs explains that's what happens if you're overweight, because you're no longer hungry because you're getting what you need. When you start taking their proprietary formulation of essential fatty acids that blows the competition away. When you start taking Beyond Tangy Tangerine and Pollen Burst Plus and the other key Youngevity products, it is incredible.
It was so easy to lose weight and regain health for myself, barely without trying, just from taking the products.
I want to challenge our radio listeners to go to InfoWarsTeam.com so you can see for yourselves the incredible results Aaron and others have achieved with Youngevity products that are discounted at wholesale prices at InfoWarsTeam.com. Sign up as a distributor and get wholesale pricing discounts at InfoWarsTeam.com. The revolution against tyranny starts individually with our bodies. There is a global awakening happening. The sleeping giant that is humanity is awakening, and a big part of that fight starts at InfoWarsTeam.com. Listen to this part right here. Some poetry right there. All right, let's go back to Ben Fuchs. It's hard to turn that off. Let me tell you something, folks. I promote what I believe in, and I'm going to do a plug right here for the Youngevity products. Discounted if you sign up for $10 like Costco. You get discounts at InfoWarsTeam.com, and your purchase supports us. They've got the Just Out with my ugly face on the cover. Pollen Plus with the currant berries from New Zealand, little added boost of antioxidants on top of all the bees and the minerals and the bee pollen and all the stuff that's in there. The Beyond Tangy Tangerine, everything. InfoWarsTeam.com. 877-551-1301. 877-551-1301. If you want to call and be a distributor or got any questions or want to talk to some of the folks at the InfoWars team, a lot of people that end up being distributors end up working for the crew here. This stuff has taken the country by storm through our radio show. I know that it's boosted the overall Youngevity sales, period, outside of what I'm doing, about 35% in the last year, because people buy what really works, okay? Again, I've been promoting this 2 years, knew it was good, didn't really, stuck my toe in, though. It was just another sponsorship of something I believed in, but I wasn't. When I saw with Aaron and then my family and my mother, who's a triathlete, and everybody else, and then women I know whose hair was falling out and the hair came back in, I mean, because it wasn't a hormonal issue, it was a nutrient thing. Nails growing faster. I don't want to get into personal stuff, but I never had a really oily skin, but I get some, you know, blackheads and stuff, just almost gone. I mean, really dramatic effects. The only problem is I feel like I'm 18 again, and I'm super aggressive. I mean, super aggressive, where I'm just ready to get in fights almost instantly. But that's, most people, it doesn't do that, okay? That's just how I am, okay? I've always been aggressive. And going back to Ben Fuchs, I know a lot of these, having this mix also has boosted my testosterone. Naturally, I'm not going to get into how I know that's happened. But men know when you've got a boosted testosterone, what that, how you know that. The point is, this is real. Now, can you do this through other products? Yeah, it'll cost you more. We've even looked at it. It costs a lot more to try to get everything you get in just a few Youngevity products, the Alex Pack, with the Osteo FX, the essential fatty acids, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, and the Pollen Plus. You do that, you get everything. They've got a lot of other little specialty cofactors and things. And I'm going to stop plugging now. That's not why Ben Fuchs is on. We can do 2 hours on this. You can get clean water. You can get the basic vitamins, basic minerals, huge dosages of vitamin C, and just see what it does for you. Try some other company. Just please. In fact, Ben, before we get back into the minerals and vitamins, we've covered about 10% of them. We got a race now. Because I haven't heard you talk about this specifically. I found that if I drink more clean water as well, that's essential. And I've seen that help family before I even woke up to this other stuff. You know, I had like great uncles and people who I'd sit there watch drinking coffee and tea all day. And I said, do you drink water? And they can hardly get out of their chair. They're like, no. And I go, you're all shriveled up. You're dehydrated. Do you know that's a diuretic? I don't want to hear it. I'm like, hey, listen, you know, I brought them literature, said, if you want to feel better, do this. And it was like a new person just off water. So we're not selling water, by the way. We think you should purify it. I mean, but there's a lot of stuff hidden in plain view. The system knows this. Pharmacist Ben Fuchs, how important is water?
Please, more water means more blood. More blood means more oxygen and more nutrition, and you don't need to know anything more than that, especially, by the way, first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning, we tend to be dehydrated because usually we've gone to the bathroom once or twice and we haven't replaced our fluids for 6 or 8 hours. So first thing in the morning, you're dehydrated. When you drink more water, immediately, within moments, you have more blood volume. More blood volume means more nutrients and more oxygen, and by the way, for diabetics, drinking more water is absolutely vital, and we know 30% of Americans are either pre-diabetic or diabetic. Drinking more water will dilute your blood sugar too. So if you're having
it's the
blood
garbage
sugar
man.
issues,
it helps carry away all the trash.
It makes your blood volume higher, and it delivers more nutrients to your tissues. When you have high blood pressure, by the way, and almost 80 to 100 million Americans are dealing with high blood pressure issues, that's a sign that your body is trying to deliver more nutrients and more oxygen to the tissues. Simply drinking more water, by virtue of the fact that it will deliver more nutrients to your body's cells, will allow your blood pressure to relax. So drinking more water is important for brain health. It's important for nutrient delivery. It's important for detoxification.
But that doesn't make Big Pharma, who happen to be eugenicists, more money, so they don't ever tell you about that at the doctor's office. Let's continue with the vitamins, minerals, trace elements, cofactors. Race through them.
EFAs, essential fatty acids. I don't know if you could come up with one supplement that's more important than essential fatty acids. They are a must-have nutritional supplement. They're very difficult to get out of foods because of processing. Deficiencies in EFAs will wreak havoc on your hormone system. It'll wreak havoc on your skin. You cannot make collagen for your skin. Like with vitamin C, you can't make collagen without essential fatty acids. You can't make the skin's barrier, so you'll be dealing with all kinds of skin problems. You'll have joint stiffness. You'll have pain in your joints. You'll have poor wound repair. If you're a woman, you'll be dealing with PMS. Essential fatty acids are almost like a cure for premenstrual syndrome issues. The big problem with essential fatty acids, you and I have talked about this in the past, is if you're deficient, you'll find yourself craving fats. You won't be able to stay away from the French fries. And that's one of the neat things about nutritional supplementation is it will allow you to wean yourself off of foods that you know are bad for you, but that you cannot resist. Food manufacturers and chemical companies understand that under conditions of nutritional deficiencies, we won't be able to stop eating the French fries.
Well, yeah, that's Aaron. Aaron lost 92 pounds over a year. He's now 6 months into keeping it off, but now his muscles are building up. And, I mean, he literally has had a total transformation. The video of that is now posted at InfoWarsTeam.com. We aired it on the radio yesterday, but for people that want to see the before and after, it's at InfoWarsTeam.com. Just posted there last night.
Talk about weight. You and I didn't even talk about weight loss.
Well, the point is, he said whenever he was craving pizza or whatever, he just would take essential fatty acids. Go ahead.
That's exactly right. When you're craving fats, that's your body's cry for good fats. Your body doesn't have a cry for French fry fats, but it has a loud cry for essential fatty acids, and we just don't listen or understand or interpret our body's signals. So once you get on EFAs, the French fries are just not going to taste good to you. Same with the ice cream and same with the potato chips and all the other fatty foods that we're addicted to. All right, so continuing on, one of my favorite minerals, magnesium. Deficiencies are associated with anxiety, nervousness, jitteriness. Magnesium is your relaxing mineral. Take it before you go to bed and you'll fall asleep much easier.
No, I've started doing that. I've started doing that because I sleep pretty good, but the dogs bark, the kids wake up. If I take a teaspoon of this magnesium stuff that I've gotten from Youngevity, it literally, I sleep like the dead, where you just wake up in the morning, boom, you know, that deep sleep. It's a drug. That's what they don't tell you. The vitamins and minerals are the real drugs that are natural, that our body's designed to get, and the pimps don't want us knowing that. They sell us manipulated garbage.
Well, that's a brilliant point. Nutrients are what drugs dream they could be. When a drug goes to bed at night and has a fantasy, it fantasizes that it's a nutrient because nutrients give you benefits with no toxicities. This is a medicinal dream come true to have benefits with no toxicities. If a pharmaceutical company could find a drug that was as powerful as vitamin C, that had all the benefits of vitamin C or any vitamin or mineral, but had no side effects, what would that drug be worth? What would a drug be worth that could lower your blood pressure, that could fight cancer, that could boost your immune system, that could build bone, among many other things, and have zero toxicity? Can you name a drug like that? There's no drug on planet Earth.
Well, what they're doing is they're coming and adding a molecule or something to the molecule, and they are starting to patent fish oils and things, but making you pay 10 times more.
That's right. You see, a cell depends on nutrients. Nutrients are a cell's support system. Nutrients are like the cavalry. They carry the forces of life. Drugs are like Darth Vader. Drugs force a cell to do their bidding, all supposedly in the interests of a greater good. Drugs are like communist dictators, like Mao. They suppose in the interest of the greater good of the body, they poison the individual cells. Nutrients are like your family. Nutrients work with cells. Drugs work against a cell. That's all you need to know right there. Nutrients work with the cell's chemistry. They are the support system for a cell. Drugs work against a cell. From a cell perspective, they are the quintessential adversary. They are poisons, literally. They are handled by the body's poison control system. And this whole idea of medications and drugs and prescriptions being handled by the poison control system in the body, which is impeccable, this whole idea of drugs being handled this way has two important implications. Number one, it depletes your bodies of nutrients. The more prescription drugs you're taking, the more nutritional deficiencies you will have. Nutrients that are typically not replaced. And also, secondly, focusing on drugs makes it more likely that not all other things will get cleared out. If your poison control system is overwhelmed from detoxifying your statin drugs or from detoxifying your antibiotics or detoxifying whatever medications you're on,
your immune system turns off and you get cancer.
You'll be depleting your body's ability to handle these cancer-causing substances. You're going to be depleting your impeccable poison control system's energy. You'll be increasing the risks of poisons being built up, and even worse, you're going to be building up toxic intermediaries. And this is a point that's missed when we hear about drugs. We hear about side effects, and they're hideous. But even worse, you're depleting your body's ability to handle poisons. You're depleting your body's ability to handle cancer-causing substances. You're depleting your body's ability to handle substances that cause disease, and you may not even make the connection between the two. There's not a single drug on planet Earth that can heal anything in the body. They are simply there to change test markers and to eliminate symptoms. On the other hand, by using nutritional supplements, you can literally reverse the disease process. That's the beauty of good nutrition, and that's why I'm a nutritional pharmacist, Alex. That's why I practice nutrition instead of dispensing toxic pharmaceutical drugs, because nutrients are the quintessential premier medicines. They are the very definition of what a medicine should be, with no toxicity.
All right, continuing here. Let's get into, we've gotten into magnesium. We've gotten into fatty acids. Let's get into selenium. Then let's get into other minerals, cofactors, and some of the things from your research and other major studies. Some of the other things that have been found that really supercharge things and help your body use all of these things in concert.
Selenium is unbelievably important for the body's detox system. We just talked about the poison control system. There's a chemical in the body called glutathione. Some of your listeners may have heard of glutathione. Glutathione is your master cancer fighter. It's your master antioxidant. It's your master detoxification element. And it runs on a little selenium battery. It's one of the neat things about minerals is they function electromagnetically as batteries that charge enzymes, and one of the most important enzymes that selenium charges is glutathione. Without selenium, you can't make this master cancer fighter. Selenium is also an important component in thyroid health. If you're hypothyroid, you definitely want to think about getting on selenium. Selenium deficiency is associated with muscle weakness. It's associated with fatigue. It's associated with joint disease. Selenium deficiency can cause miscarriages and birth defects, and perhaps most importantly, selenium deficiency is associated with cardiovascular disease, which is the leading killer in this country and around the world. And you don't need very much selenium. Just the amount of selenium that would fit on a couple of pinheads is all you need as a daily dose to assure that you don't suffer from these deficiency diseases. That's a tiny, tiny little bit of this very important substance, selenium. And selenium is one that you can take too much of, and that's why when you're using a nutritional supplement program, something like the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, you don't have to concern yourself with the doses as much because the formulators have taken care of those dosages for you.
All right, let's talk about this, and then I want to go into some of the current news items that you wanted to mention. I know there's other key cofactors and things like what you were just mentioning, but why are they attacking eggs and even whey protein? I guess they don't want us healthy. LA Times says eating whole eggs is dangerous, is smoking but then our brain is mainly made out of these good cholesterols. Is it true that we should be on a low-fat diet?
Well, even Ansel Keys, who's the father of the so-called fat and cholesterol hypothesis, has come out saying that we've known all along that dietary cholesterol has nothing to do with the amount of cholesterol in your body. This whole thing on eggs, I'm going to talk about this on my program tomorrow. This whole thing on eggs is absolutely tragic. If anybody listens to this silliness that's coming out of this study in Canada, it's very, very unfortunate. First of all, if you look at the numbers, and you got to be very careful with how the press reports things, if you look at the numbers right out of the study, as it turns out, people who ate the highest amount of eggs had exactly the same cholesterol, even higher cholesterol levels than people who ate less eggs. So this whole idea of eating egg yolks and causing cancer, this is just a bunch of hooey. The egg yolk is nature's richest source of nutrients next to human mother's milk. And not in the white. The nutrients are not in the white when it comes to an egg. They're in the yolk. And I'm talking vitamin A. I'm talking the B complex. I'm talking vitamin K. I'm talking essential fatty acids, magnesium, calcium, vitamin D, copper, iron, manganese, selenium, zinc. These are all
well, they even tell
yolk.
People that have epilepsy eat more eggs because it's been associated with helping the brain. I mean, this is known. So why are they... I mean, if they're going to put taxes on cigarettes, I guess now they're saying eggs are bad. Bloomberg wants to tax salt. He wants to tax... soft drinks, again, making themselves the good guys while ignoring all the real problems. Are they doing that, knowing they're killing us with the nanny state, so that they can selectively take control? And yeah,
you know, that's a point that's well taken. But you know what? We got to take the control back. This idea of nutritional supplementation is one of the best ways that you can take charge of your health and not depend on the doctor. And Alex, what's going to happen if we end up with this Obamacare thing, with managed care, government-mandated managed care, government-mandated HMOs? This is going to be an unmitigated health disaster, and our best protection is to understand how to use nutritional supplementation. And by the way, as far as this study goes on egg yolks, look to see who these scientists who came up with this study, Dr. David Spence, the Canadian authors, David Spence and David Jenkins and Jean Davignon, see who these guys get paid for, and guess who you will find is writing the checks? AstraZeneca and the cholesterol, the drug companies that
sure,
make the
they want to say it's the cholesterol that's bad, not imbalances in the body. And at the same time, they want to put statins in the water, even of children. So they're creating this world where the building blocks of our body are listed as evil, so they can tax them and regulate them and control them, not letting us have access to it.
Do you understand how dark it is? How far down the line we are? How late it is?
No, they don't want us to know that they've produced artificial food designed to make us sick and mentally ill. They don't want you to know if you can't sleep, it's magnesium. They got a deadly class 3 narcotic for you. They don't want you to know you got rot holes in your skin because you don't have enough vitamin C. You got zits all over the place. They don't want you to know any of this stuff. By the way, Paul Watson's article is very powerful. It's up at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. DHS classifies new ammo purchases following controversy as they buy even more than $1.4 billion. And all these different agencies are getting it. The Post Office, the Social Security Administration, the National Weather Association. And one of the commenters makes a point of a meaning to make. Google excluded income is their name. And it's fact, hollow point bullets are illegal to use in war. Yep. Hollow point bullets are too expensive for practice uses. Correct? Hollow points are for our heads and torso and arms and legs. Yeah, I mean, these are bullets for us, 1.4 billion bullets. Man, I just had to ask you, because you're a smart guy, what is your take on armored pillboxes, checkpoints getting set up, and 1.4+ billion rounds of ammo for us? I mean, what are these criminal lunatics planning?
Well, you know, it gets to what you were saying before we went to the break. We are at risk of losing our individual freedoms because we're not paying attention and we've abdicated our personal responsibility. When it comes to our health, nothing is more dramatic than this idea of medicalizing everything. The articles we were going to talk about, should doctors treat lack of exercise as a medical condition?
We'll do a little bit of overdrive to get into that. But yeah, I mean, here's my frustration. I've seen it work with family. Aaron Dykes, I lost 40 pounds. And then just am not in the habit of taking stuff all day, so I quit doing it. Now I'm back on it. Even when I know it's real myself, I'm so weak I can't fully commit, Ben.
Well, you know what? You can't fully commit until you do, because once you do, you would not want to. Once you do commit, you're not going to want to be without your Beyond Tangy Tangerine, your nutritional supplements. And it may
I take them once or twice a day, but you're supposed to take them, 3-4 times a day. My point is, I've already seen dramatic results. I just can't believe how real this is and how hidden in plain view. Like, drink more water,
Right. Oh, here's another one. Just breathing. One of the most powerful ways to lower your blood pressure is to practice diaphragmatic breathing. Simple oxygen can drop your blood pressure and get you off your antihypertensive drugs, your calcium channel blockers, and your beta blockers. And by the way, Alex, among the deadliest drugs of all, and there's a lot of deadly drugs, are these antihypertensive drugs. Now they want to give you the poly pill, which is a combination of different 3 or 4 antihypertensive drugs that you take in one pill.
That's what I wanted to ask you next. And your body's doing all this hyper stuff to keep you alive. You block it, you end up killing yourself. What do you make of all the big pharma documents in like 5 companies the last month coming out where they know their drugs are killing us and have no benefit and are laughing at us? I mean, they're so evil.
Have you heard about Propecia, the baldness drug now?
Yes, tell us.
Propecia is a baldness drug, and now people are surprised that Merck has been hiding the side effects. The company that makes Propecia has been hiding all the side effects that are associated with this. But the bottom line here is we shouldn't be surprised, because the mechanism of drugs is to block things in the body. That's why you have antihypertensives.
Merck knew that the MMR shot was actually giving people the measles, mumps, and rubella, and they were like, ha, 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 we'll get more money as we spread the measles, mumps, and rubella. I mean, it's just the diabolical nature.
It is diabolical. That's exactly right. You're playing with the body's chemistry. If you're on a prescription drug, Alex, your number one health objective needs to be to figure out how to get off that prescription drug. If you're on a prescription drug, it's not a matter of losing weight. It's not a matter of going to the gym. It's not a matter of eating better. It's a matter of getting off that prescription drug because it's killing you. And nutritional supplementation is your best strategy.
Pharmacist Ben Fuchs is working with us over at InfoWarsTeam.com. Went through a lot of the vitamins and minerals and known illnesses and diseases that are triggered by lack of that. But there's no way these medical doctors are that stupid that when they see people coming in with rot holes and their skin falling off, they don't ask, hey, do you eat leafy vegetables and fruits? Are you taking any vitamin C? No, instead they got some, antibiotic for them because they got rot holes or whatever. Or if you got, acne everywhere, they don't tell you, hey, it's this vitamin, this mineral. They got a bunch of topical stuff for you and acids to dry out your skin. I mean, that's a perfect example right there. I know you're really a big skin expert. Finishing up with some of the news articles you wanted to hit.
Fluoride. I want to talk about this dentist who's telling us that bottled water might be bad for kids' teeth because it doesn't have fluoride. And I love how the mainstream media just jumped all over this. If you look at any website...
well, it's a hoax. The government's being forced to take it out of the water, admitting it's deadly, but have one dentist come out, they can all act like it's good because he says so.
Well, fluoride singularly upsets the brain, especially a gland in the brain called the pineal gland, which takes up fluoride faster than any other tissue in the body. The pineal gland is the center of melatonin production, of serotonin production, and we know that serotonin drugs are the best-selling drugs in the world. The pineal gland is responsible for how we perceive reality itself, and it is singularly dependent on minerals like iodine. By the way, iodine supplementation is one of the best ways to protect yourself from fluoride. For people who are stuck drinking tap water, which I definitely don't recommend, but if you're stuck drinking it, make sure that you're using iodine supplementation. The pineal gland loves iodine. It will take in fluoride under iodine deficiency states. And this whole idea of bottled water is another problem too. I mean, our only option really is bottled water, but there are plasticizers in bottles that are also a big problem. Some of them act like estrogen. If you're stuck drinking bottled water because you don't want to drink tap water, make sure that you're using nutritional supplements that will protect you from some of the toxicity associated with these bottled water ingredients, ingredients in the bottles of bottled water. Essential fatty acids are very, very important in this regard.
So essential fatty acids helps block or take away the BPA?
It'll help protect your estrogen, your hormone system from some of the estrogen mimicking effects of BPA.
Because if you've got a flood of the good stuff, it'll bond instead of your body being desperate. I mean, that's like the thyroid, right? It'll pick up the toxic stuff if you don't have the good iodine, right?
Exactly. For folks worried about radioactivity, for folks worried about heavy metals, when you give yourself the good stuff, your body will selectively take that in. As far as this bisphenol A and some of the hardeners that they use in plastics that act like estrogen mimics, and it's other things too. Cosmetics can act like estrogen mimics. Preservatives can act like estrogen mimics. Fragrances and perfumes can mimic estrogen. To protect yourself from estrogen mimics, you want to use essential fatty acids. You want to use foods like broccoli and cauliflower, the cruciferous vegetables, and you want to make sure you're getting enough iodine. This is so important. I don't hear anybody talking about the importance of iodine for protection against excess estrogen, for protection of the pineal gland, for protection of the breast tissue, for protection of the adrenal glands. People will tell you, doctors will tell you, oh, you get enough iodine from iodized salt. Not true. And it's even the wrong kind of iodine as well.
Well, I like Modifilin, which isn't a Youngevity product, but we have it at InfoWarsShop.com. I talked to a lot of folks. I really like the way this makes me feel and what it's doing for me. A lot of folks I know, well, Weldon is the one that first turned me on to it, and I asked a bunch of different doctors and scientists about it. I really like the brown seaweed from New Zealand myself.
Seaweed is amazing, amazing stuff. If you can, the more seaweed you eat, the better. Of course, we know the oceans are pretty toxic, but seaweed actually has an ability to sequester some of the toxins that are found in ocean water. So eating seaweed is not only a great way to get iodine, it's a wonderful source of iodine, it's a great source of B vitamins, it's a great source of protein.
So it's almost a chelator. It's helping drag stuff out of your body.
That's exactly right. It's a
all right, listen, we're going to post this interview that was live at InfoWarsTeam.com. If you missed any of it out there, and Aaron Dyke's testimony with before and after, it's up at InfoWarsTeam.com. Thank you so much, pharmacist Ben Fuchs. Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.